A somber anniversary in Rhode Island today marks 15 years since the Station Nightclub fire, which claimed the lives of 100 people and injured more than 200 others.
Many coming together in West Warwick today to remember the lives lost that February night. And as we reflect on the tragedy, we're also learning more about a new effort to make sure something like this never happens again.
Eyewitness News reporter Eric Halperin joins us now live at the Station Memorial Park in West Warwick with more on today's events. Eric?
Mike Shannon, a very somber day here at the Memorial Park. All day long, survivors, family, and friends have been coming by to remember all those lives lost on this day 15 years ago. But many also came here to celebrate what they're calling a next step in the efforts to prevent a tragedy like this from happening again. Flowers lay on the ground at each one of the memorials for the 100 lives lost. All of their names, the first thing you walk by going into the Station Fire Memorial Park.
The pain never goes away. It's just a constant thing.
Richard Rakowski sits in front of his wife Teresa's picture. He was serving in Afghanistan when the fire happened. He was rushed back home instantly. Several other relatives and family friends were also at the club that night and didn't survive.
5 family members, consider them my family.
Also inside the station that night was Robert Feeney.
Always going to be a chapter in my life that's never closed, but it's not the main chapter, it's not the main focus of my life.
Along with 2 of his friends, the fire took the life of his fiancée, Donna Mitchell. Ever since the fire, one of his main focuses has been spreading awareness about safety and ways to prevent things like this from happening again. Before that night 15 years ago, he had never thought of being a firefighter. Now he's one in onset.
It helps me better understand what happened that night.
It's truly an honor.
Joined Tuesday by dozens of others, including survivors, families, firefighters, and other community leaders, he spoke on a new incentive in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It allows small business owners to deduct the cost of retrofitting their buildings with fire sprinklers, what the station did not have.
No more excuses not to make your building as safe as it can be.
And this is the first year that this park has been totally completed for the anniversary. What that means to so many that were impacted, coming up new at 6. Live in West Warwick, I'm Eric Halperin, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kim. Now at 6, Eyewitness News, moving to West Warwick. 15 years ago tonight, 100 lives were lost in the Station Nightclub fire.
Today at the Station Memorial Park on Coesit Avenue, visitors remembered those who died and survivors pushed for changes to prevent future tragedies.
Eyewitness News reporter Eric Halperin joins us live from the Memorial Park in West Warwick. Eric?
Mike Shannon, survivors, family, and friends that stopped by to here, some of them told me that it was their first time here in years. Others said that they've come here multiple times over the years. But one thing they said kept coming to mind as they looked around this park at all the detail. They kept saying that this park is beautiful.
One of the best.
It's a day that hundreds of lives were forever changed. Now the 100 lives lost are remembered at the Station Fire Memorial Park. Flowers placed at each marker Tuesday morning.
It's the first time being on the site in 5 years, so I'm kind of awestruck. It's just beautiful.
Robert Feeney is a survivor of the Station Nightclub fire. He had been there that night with his fiancée Donna Mitchell and some friends. 2 of those friends and his fiancée did not survive. He used to visit the site on an almost weekly basis.
You might arrive with the memories of the fire, but you can now leave here and think about this place of what it is now.
Ever since the fire, he's been an advocate for increased safety measures. 3 years ago, he became a firefighter in onset, something he says he never thought of doing before February 20th, 2003.
I developed the tools I needed to recover.
But Tuesday, joined by dozens of others at the Memorial Park, he spoke on a new incentive in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It allows small business owners to deduct the cost of retrofitting their buildings with fire sprinklers.
For the survivors that I've worked with over the last 15 years, that gives meaning and purpose to their suffering.
And everyone here today took part in what they called the Fire Sprinkler Challenge. Fire sprinkler heads were handed out to all of them. They all held them up and they took a picture with the goal of what they say is to encourage businesses to get retrofitted with fire sprinklers. Live in West Warwick, I'm Eric Halperin, Eyewitness News.